So let's start with values. I think it's so important that it's not just about writing a check. It's at knowing the partners that are running the firm and how the firm is being run is going to be probably the most critical thing. Because if you have a volatile person, it really doesn't matter what the returns are. The risk itself of getting into those types of businesses aren't really worth it, at least from my perspective. Can you first walk us through the due diligence process on the people and the culture of the companies that you end up writing a check to, and then talk us more through, maybe Mark, the quantitative side of how it is that you're going to evaluate how the check sizes are, how you're going to be investing, and the types of structured return from that standpoint?
I remember when, Brad had already met JP, and we were just kind of in the inception phases, the development phases of our multi-strategy private lending approach. And he said, we should talk to JP. And when he, first introduced me to the strategy, I have to admit, I was very skeptical. Consumer lending, subprime lending. I mean, I'm familiar with this, from my payments days. I dealt with a little bit of this, and so with it's always good to have healthy skepticism going into something instead of diving right in. Oh, this is great, right? Because it gives you an opportunity to learn and really study and analyze and assess what are the key drivers of performance of any underlying strategy. What are the key drivers of the track record? Who are the people in place? What is the process in place that enables the sustainability of that track record of the past into the future? And these are the things that we evaluated with Hive. And these are the things that we evaluate with every investment. Obviously, the people behind it are exceptionally important, the quality and the character of those people. And as well as we spend a lot of time understanding that process, understanding the underwriting approach and how they look at credit, how they look at risk mitigation in their own strategy, and maximize the chance of recovery, not just being able to generate the return, but the recovery of capital in the situations where things go wrong, because they always do.
Yeah, so I would just, again, Mark and his team do a lot of the real technical analysis. I tend to be more of the bigger picture person, which is why I get to say, Mark, take a look. And they did. But I will say at my level, I really would say that the opportunities in the marketplace, I firmly believe, are somewhat in the shadows. They're not in the things that everyone else sees. Oh, I can go buy NVIDIA now. Well, I mean, you'll still probably do well, but you're not going to do what people did 20 years ago. And so, the opportunities are around. Always one of the expressions I say is seeing around the corner. You have to see around the corner. It's not always obvious to you that this is something you need to explore. You need to. So I think, you try not to go in with any preconceived notions, and you try to just open your mind to understanding the phenomenon that someone's trying to attach to. And I think that's what we try to do with the strategies that we develop. We try to approach things differently. The world does not need another index fund or another actively managed stock fund that says I can pick better stocks than the next guy. The fact of the matter is most don't. And the ones that really do, it's just years and years of cultivating a business. So we talk at our firm about building what we call structural alpha. Alpha, for those of you who don't know, in the investment management space is outperformance. Think of it as that. So we believe that outperformance through I can pick a stock better than you. I can buy at the right time of the day better than at a different time of the day, and I'm going to out trade another person, or that we're going to have an information advantage. To think that you're going to have an information advantage in today is probably really faulty. I mean, there are people that co-locate beside the New York Stock Exchange so that when news comes out, they have a wall this thick with a pipe through it that has wires in it, and they get the information a nanosecond quicker than everyone else does. So to think that you're going to have an information advantage is probably faulty. What you're probably going to have is an analysis advantage. You're going to be able to probably gain through analysis. So once I was told, I can't properly attribute it, but the person said that we're in an information-rich, analysis-poor society. So I agree with that. And so it's what you do with that analysis. So to me, it's about understanding the people, understanding the process, understanding the phenomenon, the alpha engine that they're trying to get after. And once you do that, then I think the rest of the analysis starts to fall into place. And I do think that, look, diversification is another aspect to it. You don't have to be right every time. You try not to be really wrong very often, and you try and spread your bets around in a thoughtful way.